And how many years has Tinsels and Treasures been around?
This is the 32nd market, which, again, crazy to think that we've been doing this for 3 decades, but it keeps getting better and better.
Welcome to Posture and Purpose, where both healing and community come together. Make sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Let's get into this episode with Dr. Michelle Carr-Frank.
Hello and welcome to Posture and Purpose. On today's episode, I have Miss Nicole Street. She is the president of the Junior League of Lafayette. So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So for our listeners who may not be familiar with the Junior League, can you tell us a little bit about the mission of the Junior League and the purpose of the league?
Yeah. Our mission is actually pretty simple when you boil it down. We are focused on advancing women's leadership for meaningful community impact. And we do that in a couple different ways. We collaborate with other nonprofits and volunteer organizations in Lafayette, and we cross-collaborate across committees in the league. We also do that through volunteer action, getting our hands dirty for a lot of projects, right?
Yep.
And we also do that through training. We're a big training organization. We want to develop women to go out into the world to do good things. And so that's our purpose. That's what we're trying to do here in Lafayette.
And that's the mission. So how many years has the league been in Lafayette?
68 years,
68.
Which is incredible when you think about the number of women that have walked through that door, the number of partner agencies we've been able to collaborate with. The impact that that's had over 68 years is incredible.
And what's even a little surprising to me just by us talking about this is that I remember joining the league and it was their 50th year.
How time goes by really
it has
fast.
Flown by. So I
Yes.
did not realize that. And how many years have you been in the league?
Yeah, I joined in 2013, so this is my 12th active year, which means that I've been in the league for 13 years. And even that, it seems like yesterday that I went to my first info session to learn what the league was about, and here we are.
Yes, well, and we're so lucky to have you in doing this and everything that the league does. So what inspired you to become a part of the league?
Well, at the time, I had 2 young daughters, and I was just trying to find something to do that didn't have to do with my kids. It didn't have to do with my husband. It was something just for Nicole. Mm-hmm. And I could have never dreamt of what the experience would have turned into when I was just looking for, something to fill some time.
The camaraderie of
Yeah.
the women involved, and it's a sense of purpose. It's not, we're going to sit around and talk about, our hair, nails. This is a serious group of women
Mm-hmm.
that are out in the community and making our community in Lafayette better. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
It has a long-standing history. What are some of the organizations or accomplishments from the
Yeah.
Junior League? There's so many. I know it's hard to condense it into one conversation, but do a few stand out to you?
Yeah, you're right. The list is really long. We could never list them all, but currently we have a really good partnership with Miles Perret Cancer Services. We have a program that we help support the families that are beneficiaries of their services. We also have a really strong relationship right now with Our Lady of Lourdes Women's and Children's Hospital. If you've been a patient, if your children have been a patient in the last year or two, inpatient, you may have seen our Happy Wheels cart come around with, car chargers, phone chargers, and, T-shirts and coloring books and all the essentials that you may have forgotten at home. So those are 2 that we currently are working with, but we work with so many other organizations, Catholic Charities, Boys and Girls Club, Parish Proud. I mean, there's really too many to say,
Yeah.
but we really value collaboration and the collective work of organizations working together really has such a huge, meaningful impact on Acadiana.
And it's boots on the ground.
It is.
I don't think people listening may realize that.
Yeah.
They may have a preconceived notion of what the Junior League of Lafayette is or what it's made of. And it is women working together for a greater purpose, making a true impact, changing lives of children, women, and in a whole,
Yeah.
the place that we call home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting because there is a place in the league for someone who maybe does like the more behind the scenes planning. We have places for women like that. But if you really want to get your hands dirty and, participate in some, boots on the ground efforts, this is the place that you can get that and feel fulfilled.
absolutely. And can you share what your journey has been like from beginning as a provisional through the active years and now president? What an accomplishment.
It's crazy. I never would have thought that. It was never really on my radar to move into leadership, but it kind of just happened naturally. I had a lot of mentors within the league that I think just saw something in me and said, maybe you should go for this leadership role. And then that snowballed into bigger leadership roles to now. I spent several years on the Tinsel and Treasures Committee, which was really fun.
It's a lot of work, too.
It's a lot of work, a lot of training, too. Learn how to do a lot of things when you have to plan such a huge event like that. And then I've spent a lot of time in placements that have dealt with our members and, making sure they're having a wonderful experience. And I think that really kind of pushed me into this, path of becoming president.
And what a wonderful path it has been. And I know as a woman in business, I learned things that you don't even realize you're going to learn. Conflict resolution, financial aspects of things by being in the Junior League of Lafayette.
Yeah.
I started my league years around the same time that I started my practice. And I've made connections, networking connections, but most importantly, friends.
Yeah.
Friendships that will be lifelong friendships.
I was about to say lifelong friendships. I have experienced the same. Some of the people that I talk to on a daily basis that I'm not really working with directly in the league, but we have formed relationships that are true friendships. And I have the league to thank for that because I would have maybe never met these women.
Right. The mentors, and such an inspiration. To me personally, I'm sure it's the same for you. So what does leadership look like for you within a volunteer-driven organization? Because you don't have to be there. This is volunteer. This is not a paid position of any sort.
No.
How does leadership feel, or how does that look to you?
Interestingly enough, I think if you're really passionate about this work, and I do say work because it is work.
It's work, believe me.
It is work. There's lots of fun things. There are the social things, but the work part of it, you really do have to be passionate about it. For me, I view it as I get to do this. I get to go out and wrap diapers to distribute to, the families that need. I get to do all of these things. And I think when you put it in that perspective versus it's just another meeting I have to go to, it changes how you feel about being there. So, you just have to find in your heart and in your soul what you're passionate about. For me, it's Junior League of Lafayette and leading an amazing group of women who are dedicated to the same thing, common goal, common purpose. It makes it a little bit easier.
And so for people listening that may not know what you mean by diapers,
Yeah.
tell us about the diaper drive, because they don't realize, we're going to donate some diapers. Let's drop off some diapers. What does that actually mean?
Yeah. So the statistics are actually pretty alarming that in Louisiana, I think it's 1 in 2 families struggles to keep clean diapers on their babies. And it also affects women going to work, because if they can't put their baby in clean diapers and provide those clean diapers to a daycare, then they can't work. It's a vicious cycle, truthfully, and it's heartbreaking. So we have a diaper bank. I believe it's probably 7 or 8 years old at this point, and we package and distribute over 100,000 diapers a year to some of our partner agencies who serve families that need clean diapers the most. And actually this month is National Diaper Need Awareness Month. So if you happen to be by the Junior League office in River Ranch on Richland, you can stop by. We have a barrel that you can drop diapers into. We're always collecting them, but of course we're celebrating this month and trying to get our stock up.
And what office hours can someone drop by and donate those?
Sure, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay. And they just bring them there and drop them off. That's wonderful.
Sure can.
And that's easy. So everyone can do
Yep.
that. Next time you go to the store and you may not have little ones anymore, but you pass that diaper aisle, you can be making a difference in a family's life.
Yes. You
A
can.
significant difference. So, how does the Junior League decide on which initiatives or projects that they focus on each year? I know there's a grant process and whatnot, but how do they focus on those initiatives?
Yeah. So actually a few years ago, we kind of narrowed down our focus area. So we actually have 3 focus areas. One is women's leadership, ties right into our mission of advancing women's leadership. We also have a focus area of health and development of women and children. And then our third is collaboration for lasting community change. And so that does make it a little bit easier when trying to decide what initiatives you're going to start, because if it doesn't fall in one of those 3, then unfortunately we have to hope that another organization has a mission that will align with that issue. Right. We do have a very thorough planning and evaluation process that we go through every year, where we evaluate what we're doing currently, and we also are consistently doing research of what are the other needs in our community, so that we can see, does it fit our focus areas? Does it fit our mission? How can we help? And that help can look, there's a variety of ways we can do that, through grants, through starting a whole project. It really, it could be a bunch of different ways.
And thank goodness there are so many ways. Unfortunately, there's so many areas of need.
Yeah.
But thank goodness there are wonderful organizations in Lafayette that do focus on the needs of families. So how do you see the Junior League's mission continuing to take shape in Lafayette? Since you've been involved, have you seen changes take place within the league?
Yeah. Actually, most of our women now are members work, which is very different than when it started 68 years ago, as you can imagine. And even just 10 years ago, there's been a significant shift where even just saying the majority of our women work is an understatement, because that just means more than half.
And
but
that's inspiring.
It's probably 90% if I had to estimate. And that changes the way we do things. It changes what volunteer opportunities we can offer. It changes everything, because they are focused on work during the day. Many of them are focused on family in the evenings. So it's balancing how we can offer something that's fulfilling to them, but also meaningful to the community. And so that has definitely been a shift, but one that I think we're all on board in helping evolve.
Yeah, and times change. I know when I started, they would have lunch meetings sometimes, and I thought, I can't do that. I'm at work.
Yeah.
So it has changed quite a bit.
Yep.
And again, it always in the right direction. So what are some of your main priorities this year, and how do you hope to make a change within the organization as their president?
Yeah, our big focus is member experience. And that's not to say that the community impact is not as equally as important, but we have such a solid plan right now with our community impact that I really wanted to focus on creating an experience that members did not have to think twice at the end of the year about whether or not they were going to come back the following year. Make sure that they are feeling fulfilled, that we're meeting them in a place that they can give their time, whether that's 10 hours a month or 50 hours a month. So really focusing on creating an experience that our members are enjoying.
Yes, it has to bring them joy. Volunteer work is a joy and rewarding in itself. But hey, who doesn't like to have some fun while they're doing it?
That's
Why
right.
not? Making friends and meeting new people. So can you share some special story, a heartwarming story where you have actually personally seen change, like with a family, with one of the diaper drives, or maybe something else in the community?
Yeah, we actually just met a family through Miles Perret. We do a backpack program each summer where Miles Perret provides us the school supply list for the students that, either someone in their family or themselves are being treated through, or not treated, beneficiaries of services. And we provide all of the school supplies, and we were able to meet one of the families that drove here from quite a far distance to pick up those backpacks. And they were just explaining how it's such a burden lifted to not have to worry about school supply shopping, as that may seem like the most normal thing to do in July and August, but for some families, it's the last thing on their list. They're thinking about, they're thinking about treatment, and they're thinking about budget, and being able to lift that off of their shoulders is amazing.
And you were able to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you actually see it in person. So what exciting events or projects are upcoming that we should know about with the Junior League of Lafayette?
We have actually two really amazing things, I think, that are happening this year. One is that we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of one of our cookbooks, Something to Talk About.
Oh, wow.
It's the newest of our cookbooks, and so we're really excited to celebrate 20 years of that book. And then also in a couple of weeks, we're going to be celebrating Tinsel and Treasures, which is our holiday market extravaganza.
Yes, so
it's huge and it's amazing.
And how many years has Tinsels and Treasures been around?
This is the 32nd market, which again, crazy to think that we've been doing this for 3 decades, but it keeps getting better and better.
And for someone who has never been to that event, can you tell them a little bit about like what vendors to expect, or maybe some entertainment that might be there?
Yeah, absolutely. We have over 120 merchants this year. Anything you can think of. Books, women's jewelry, women's fashion, kids' items, gifts for men, stationery, lots of amazing things. It's great to, and home decor. People love the home decor booths because, we're always looking for
something
the new thing.
For everyone.
Yep, our Christmas decor. We have ladies' night on Friday night. That's usually a really fun time, fun music and hors d'oeuvres and those kinds of things. So it's a great way to end the work week, to come shopping with your girlfriends for ladies' night.
Yes. Get your Christmas shopping done all in one.
Exactly. And then, of course, we always have to do something a little special for the kids. And we have 2 very special guests coming, Santa and Mrs. Claus.
They both can make it this year.
Yes, they can. I don't know how they're managing to do that this close to Christmas, but they're coming. And so we do have complimentary pictures with Santa, and they get to, tell Santa about their Christmas list a little early. Maybe they get a little jump start.
Yes, get those Christmas wishes done early. Well, very good. Well, I always ask everyone at the end, how do you maintain your posture while pursuing your purpose in life?
That's interesting. I think, you come to a realization at some point that you cannot stand tall every single second of every day. It's just not realistic. So I really do think that you're able to maintain that posture by allowing other people to lift you up when you need.
And I'm sure you find that in the Junior League.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It has been a pleasure to chat with you. I know from personal experience how wonderful the Junior League is and what they do for our community. So anyone listening, please support the Junior League at their Tinsels and Treasures event that's held at the Cajun Dome. And until next time, sit up straight, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay adjusted.
Thanks for listening to the Posture and Purpose podcast with Dr. Michelle Carr-Frank. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Until next time.